Okay, now we're on to level 5, which is the crenellations. I've gone ahead and put 7 of the 8 together. I'm going to show you how to do this one. We're going to go ahead and do that first. I'm going to zoom in so that you can see a little bit better what I'm doing. Make sure you've got everything cut, scored, and folded. And fold all your pieces up. Make sure you get them good. Okay. Now we're going to go ahead and start gluing. The instructions, you need to follow along. There's a couple of deviations that I found work better for me, and I will show you those. We're going to go ahead and glue up our inside flaps for the 3D crenellations first, which follows pretty much straight along with the instructions that were given. Make sure you fold it in good. Now it states to glue one side first. I found it easier to just go on and glue both sides. Use my little stick and push it up in there because you can put a lot of pressure on there with that. And it helps get everything lined up in there. Now these, if you're planning on using a marker to color the edges, I would do this before you glue it. Fold the pieces, mark them, and then lay it aside before you glue it. There's the inside piece. And then I go ahead and do the sides. Put your bead of glue there. Fold your side in. And this is really where your little stick comes in handy. I lay it down flat, line it up, my little stick. Get your piece lined up first. Get it lined up in there. Put my stick in there, and then I can just drag across it, put good pressure on there, and voila. Alright, I'm going to glue this side. What I found on this is once I fold it in, because this piece creases over, is to go ahead and fold this piece up like so, and then take your stick and you can push it up against that fold. It helps keep everything nice and squared to the crenellation tower. Alright, now here's where I'm going to deviate again. I have found that looks like that piece is not quite lined up. So if you do it quickly, you can move it. I didn't quite have that piece lined up there. So now, the instructions, you glue this after you glue the bottom on. I found it easier to glue it first, simply because you can apply pressure, because this is just a little cap piece. You come in there, you can apply some pressure. Once you get it snugged down, you can lay it down flat and run your stick up in there against it and apply pressure and get a lot of, that way you got a nice good tight seal. A little extra glue, not a big deal, it dries clear, you don't have to wipe it off if you don't want. Okay, now I'll glue the other side. Oh, the other side come loose. Back. Yeah, see, the glue had already dried by the time I pulled it up, so make sure you got it up in there good. I'll press it again. It should really stick good now. You see how it's got a little gap right there in the top there? Let's see here. You can just push that up and get that out. Alright, now we're going to glue the bottom. I kind of pull back on that flap when I fold it in. And then I just lay this flat. Take my little stick. Push it up against where it's supposed to be. Drag back with it a couple of times. Done. Okay, so there is your crenellation. This is what they'll all look like. Now we're going to glue those together. So I'm going to zoom back out. Alright. So, I'm going to line these up. Actually, I'll do them upside down so you can see them better. Get all these out here. So we're going to line all these up. Get them all in a row. I'm going to do them 4 at a time. So we're going to go ahead and put some glue on this. Pop the first one over. Now, this is where you need to follow the instructions. He recommends that you glue them like this. Don't glue the inside piece, just the straight pieces first. Let them lay like this so that you can make sure they'll bend around good. And I've noticed here I've got a little piece sticking out. You can take a pair of scissors, and I did this on a couple of the others, and just come right in there. And trim that little piece off without damaging your model. Alright. Kind of push up against it to make sure you got them good and square. Okay, and we'll turn it over, kind of press down on it, double check, make sure I got everything pretty square. You see that one didn't tack up, so that's what I like about this glue bottle, where it's got such a small applicator end. You can stick it down into little areas. This one. Actually, I'm going to go on and glue these out like this. These go together pretty fast, so you don't have to worry about the glue tacking up before you can get them together. This other one around here. Glue it on there. Okay. Now I am going to let this dry for a good 5 minutes or so. So while I'm letting that dry, and then we'll come back and fold it around and finish putting it together. Alright. Let's glue these crenellations together. So I'm going to turn this over. And I'm going to run a bead of glue down the inside of each one here. These will go together pretty quick, so I'm figuring it's not going to be a big deal. Glue these. Alright. So we're just going to kind of stand it up. And we'll go ahead and pull it all the way around here. Actually, I need to go ahead and glue this other part here too. That's going to be holding it together too. And the glue falls off. And just pull it all the way around. Get it in there good. hold it. Pick your glue up if you drop it like I do. Now it is going to be tight when you put these together. I can tell you right now. Just checking at it, looking at the level there in the ring. Make sure you got them lined up. And there's the crenellation piece. Next we're going to be putting the floor in on this. So I'll let this dry for just a few minutes and then we'll do the floor. Alright, now we're ready to do the floor. Run your bead of glue all the way around. The bottom here. Okay, now this one is the piece that goes in there. You turn it upside down and pop it in there. Now you may have to do some finagling to get it in there where you've popped that up, especially if your cuts aren't exact. I'm just going to kind of try to put some pressure on each one of these for just a minute or two. Make sure it's going to stay good. Kind of rub on it. Make sure the glue's going to adhere to the whole section there. Okay. Now this piece is actually the underside, so we're going to take them. Run a pretty good stream of glue right here so that will stay on there good. And we're going to insert this down inside here, basically the same way we did the other one. This will make the floor pretty sturdy as well for holding your miniatures. Double thick. And once I've done that, I'll take and do this. Make sure that the inside piece gets covered up. So, alright. We're going to let that dry. Okay, this piece is dry now, good and dry, so there's that. Here is the rest of the tower. You just pop your cap right on top of there, just like so. And well, I'm going to have to zoom out or move the camera or something so that you guys can see this. Let's see if we can move this back a little bit here. There we go. Alright, so there is your completed tower. There's where the door is. There's where the stairs will come up once we do those. So there's the tower. With a little patience and effort, you'll have this. I mean, you could leave. You could stop at this just as a decoration piece on your table. But I'm going to go ahead and do the stairs and stuff for it, and that will be the next video.